Well, a very good evening, everyone, for the second time tonight. So this is take two. Seem to have got a bit further this time. It's Thursday night, so Delta T Racing. It's time for division number 5. Coming to you today, round number 11 from Canada. So we just have this race and the Circuit of the Americas next week for the final race of the season. A lot of championships have already been buttoned up, but Division 5 has not. Prize there retiring straight away, but he does have a qualifying ban, so we'll be starting them from the back of the grid. So right, let's jump on, see who is out. We have, I think Spitter is going to be the first one out, so I will jump on board with him. Whilst we're running round on his warm-up lap, what we will do is just bring up the table quickly. As you can see, Hans is currently leading the way on 129 points. Not had the best last few races, so he'll be looking at putting some points on the board. Crudor moving up into second place now in the Alpine with 128 points, so just 1 point difference between the two. Third place, Kersnikov is no longer racing with us, but still currently in third with 105 points. I think Havoc and Prize Phantom will be looking at trying to get past him as quickly as they can. Nerdy as well is going to have a good chance there. So still got a lot to fight for in the Drivers' Championship. And with that, we'll jump back on the board with Spitter, who is going to just jump onto what should be, as long as he doesn't invalidate, will be the benchmark for everybody else to follow. It does have a habit of raining here at Canada, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see some kind of moisture on the track at some point. But it looks like a completely dry qualifying session. Obviously a sprint race as well for this weekend. So some additional points on the board. Obviously 34 points in total available. 8 points for a sprint race win and 25 for the main race. And obviously the extra point available for fastest lap. So 34 points on the board, 60 points still available to play for in the Drivers' Championship before the end of the season. Fairy Tale as well, I have missed him out. Looks like that has happened in Sector 2. But anyway, Spitter does indeed, obviously would because he is the first one across the line, but 111.708. Not a bad lap at all in there, to be honest with you. Okay, next up, is it Ralph? So Ralph for the 112.604. I was talking to him just before the race. Hasn't had an awful lot of time to practice. Hands there again. A bit of a toe off his teammate there, so Jurek doing a good thing on his out lap anyway. So Hans now keeping it nice and neat and tidy through there. It's a slowish lap for him, a 12.6, got an awful lot more to come through there. Right, so a jump back, composite, yep. He's just starting his lap, so we've got lots of people starting, looking at the times coming in now. Nerdy with a 11.988. Sorry, I missed that. Nerdy cracking lap, puts him up into second place provisionally. We've got a Haas just coming across the line. I think that's to start his lap. It is indeed. Right, so Nerdy getting some more heat into the tyres. Don't think he's on an out lap, he'll be on an in lap, but don't have anybody doing double. Right, okay, so let's jump back. Sorry, yes, Jurek will be the next, I think, to cross the line and post a time. I think Hans in front No, Hans has gone round, so his Hans going to beat his time. He's 1.06 up so far. And he does with 11.044, beating Crudor, who had just popped in at 11.338 as well. So the time's starting to tumble now. I wouldn't be surprised if we are going to be down into the 1 minute 10 soon. Composite here. He's up on his time, but I still think we're going to be looking at 13, 12, 14. Yep. So his teammate there coming in with a 13.217. Okay, so who is going to be next? Is it MBB? Probably didn't want me to join him at that moment. Chef coming into the start-finish line now to put his time on the board has invalidated, so we'll be going for another flying lap. Dr. Scenic on his out lap. Brother Adam as well, not leaving the pit. He again has a qualifying ban this week, so he and Prize will be starting at the back of the grid as long as there's no disqualifications, otherwise they could find themselves catapulted up. And MBB just getting a little bit on the throttle there. Or was he... I do wonder if he made contact with the Haas there. That was, right, okay, where we go? Who's on a lap? Dr. Scenic. I'm going completely the wrong way there. So Dr. Scenic, he has invalidated. MBB, as we know, has spun. Chef, is Chef? I think, or 111.915, so just dips himself under those 112s as well. So Hans currently leading the way in the McLaren with a 111, well, pretty much 111 flat, 0.044. Crudor 0.3 further back in second place. And his Alpine teammate currently in third. Spitter putting in a good lap there. So who is now going out on their second laps? The Chef coming towards the end of sector 2. No, he's way down on his time there. Composite, is he has invalidated as well. Nerdy, try and grab the end of, oh geez, now going on to a fast lap. So let's jump on board with Nerdy. I keep missing his lap times, so hopefully we're not going to put a curse on him by watching. Bit of external there. I'm trying to give more sort of in-car camera footage, certainly during qualifying, so people can see what the drivers are doing. He now opens up that DRS under the bridge onto the brakes, cut that corner, cut that corner. You have to be so careful though, if you overcut it and you get your invalidation. So Nerdy is a 10th up on his time. He's gaining a position, but not a lot more. But we'll see whether he lost any time coming into this final sector. You can make and lose so much time coming into this final sector. Spitter, no. 1:11.2, so a 0.7 improvement for Nerdy there, up into second place. So obviously he did make potentially a bit of a hash of his of the chicane on his opening lap, as he's made about half a second in that sector. So I think he's probably nailed it a bit more this time. MBB with a 1:21, which I see was an invalidation as well. So who is next? Ralph coming down the long straight. And turn 2, you have to be so cautious on the throttle there, but you want to get on early, but you need to make sure that you get enough grip, otherwise you are round. Again, here is a prime spot for warnings and penalties and invalidations, which indeed Ralph has, so Ralph will need to do another lap. Peter Pirate just behind him. Kieran just about to cross the line. See what time Kieran can put in. A 12.452. Right, let's not go on board with Pete then. So we have Durac out as well. So we have 4 people already out of qualifying. Obviously 2, well no, only one of those was down to Havoc getting disqualified as well. I think that is the game being the game again. Right, who is on a lap that we want to jump on board with? Validated, composite. No, he's on a very slow lap. Pete, as we know, spun, skipper. See if skipper can improve on his current 13th place. 13.139. I think he's got more in him than that. I think he could dip into the 112s here. Does indeed, 112.074, so a second improvement there for Skipper, jumping his way up into 7th place. Crudor currently up on his time as well, so we're now getting towards the final 5 minutes, so people will be diving into the pits, putting on a fresh set of softs to come out for their final runs. Crudor now up on his time. It's still going to put him about 2/10 behind Hans. So we'll see again if Crudor can nail this final chicane. Keep it out of the Wall of Champions. Just try and make up a little bit of time. Doesn't need too much. Takes that quite well. Keeps it out of the wall. Is now absolutely flat. 11.060. So 16 thousandths of a second behind Hans there. Unlucky for Crudor, but a mighty effort. Still will have time to come in and go again if he's got the tyres left. Okay, so Skipper coming into the pits. He'll be looking to do his final run, as will Pete. So the only person we have out at the moment is Crudor, who is on an in lap. Spitter on his out lap, just behind. See how Composite does. He's improving on his time at the moment. Was it 8 thousandths of a second up? So he needs a lot more. But again, see if he can nail. It's not a bad final sector there. To be honest, he could have done with being on the throttle just a little bit earlier. Across the line 112.187. So nearly a 4/10 improvement on him there. Okay, so it's going to get a bit mad now with everybody coming out onto their final laps. People trying to keep out of the way, but Spitter is on to his, will probably be his final run of the day. He might get another lap in, pending on tyres, but certainly won't have time to come in and put a fresh set on and start again. And he's backed off, he's aborted that one, so I think he's going to go again. Not got anybody behind him. I don't think he's got a Haas heading towards him, which he's now letting past. So I don't think that was Corby, I think that was Peter Pirate. Okay, so how... He didn't want to brake there for the pits. Do we have anyone who is on the lap at the moment? Let's just Frex is on. Just his warm up. Right, okay, so Hans now coming on to start his final run for pole position. Currently heading Crudor by 16 thousandths of a second, so top two in the championship. Not only separated by 1 point in the championship, but separated by 1,000th of a second. So pretty damn close, these two. Hans now coming on to the back straight, turns 8 and 9, and then flat out heading down to turn 10 hairpin. Again, so easy to lock up here. Car in front getting out of his way. 11, this is turn number 12, even though it's just really a bend, but then it's turns 13 and 14 that are so important to your time on here. And unfortunately Hans has invalidated there, so he will not improve on his time. Who is next to come across? So Dr. Scenic. Okay, he will just be starting his last lap now. Who was that round? MBB, not having the best of days. Nerdy now on for his final lap of the day. Just going to keep an eye on Hart. No, he's 1 second down, so yeah, he's done for the day. So we'll keep with Nerdy, see if Nerdy could improve on currently 11.2. Just needs to find a couple of tenths and could put himself up into pole position. Dr. Scenic out of the race. Oh shit. Obviously has been caught out by that turn 8-9 chicane there, been put into the wall. Hopefully it doesn't cause too many problems for the cars behind. I think it has now been cleared, but it looks like it did put Nerdy off, unfortunately. He's trying to recharge his battery as desperately as he can, but Hans has now finished. Nerdy has given up as well. So Hans and Crudor will not be improving. Neither will Spitter. Chef JB coming in. Kieran taking an alternate route at the hairpin. I think that is it. That is qualifying over. So Hans takes pole position for the sprint race with a 1:11.044 against Crudor of an 11.060. So absolutely nothing between the pair of them. Crudor's teammate Spitter in third place with an 11.141, and Nerdy finally getting a decent qualifying session in 11.268. So hopefully he can keep himself up with the battles at the front. So we're just waiting now for... Oh, is Kieran still on a lap? I didn't realise Kieran was still on a lap. No, he's not really. Okay, so Kieran, the last man to cross the line in 9th place. So it brings up the close of qualifying. And we'll go through the official results with Hans taking pole position, then Crudor in second, Spitter in third, Nerdy taking a good fourth, Chef JB fifth, so a good turnout for the AlphaTauris there. MBB in sixth, in seventh, Skipper eighth, BV Baldi ninth, Kieran in 10th, Dr. Scenic 11th, Composite 12th, Ralph 13th, Mighty Frax 14th, Peter Pirate 15th, Double 16th, Fairy Tale 17th, Prize Phantom, and then 18th, Brother Adam, 19th, Jurek, and Havoc Connor, unfortunately getting a disqualification, and will start last on the grid. So Prize actually starting in 17th, so not too bad for him. Well, welcome back everybody. As you can see, we are now on the formation lap. Okay, so Hans will lead the way. Just pop up the tyres actually, just to see what everybody has gone for. Mediums, so really easy one there. So yeah, looking looks like a dry sprint race. Not 100% sure about the race though. I've got a feeling we might have some rain towards the end of the main race, but don't hold me to that. I'm just looking at something on the screen. Skipper has actually let me know. Thank you, Skipper. Rain in the race after 30 minutes. So that is going to be interesting. So quali and sprint is dry, but we are going to have rain just over halfway through the feature race. So obviously something for people to look for. Kieran and BB Baldi obviously having a little bit of a contact there, so both of them been disqualified for the formation lap. Will start on very cold tyres on the grid in 8th and 9th. Right, let's get rid of everything off the screen so we can see what is going on. Just waiting for the final drivers to line up now. And here we go. We have 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. The lights are out and away we go for the sprint race at Canada. So a good start there by Hans, just seeing a little bit of contact in the midfield there, and then a lot more contact in the midfield there. But I haven't seen too much damage, so it might not be too bad. Right, let's get back up to Brother Adam, resetting to track there. Shouldn't do that, so I'm sure you're not doing too well on your discipline at the moment, Brother Adam, but we'll see. But Price not getting a fantastic start. I think getting caught up in that first corner melee, and he's just going to struggle to get his way past. But told him he just needs to be patient. He's got the speed, he's got the skill, he just needs to pick the right time to go for a move. So Hans, Crudor, Spitter, Nerdy, Chef. So we have got away at the front as we qualified, and just looking at that, I think that was Pete the Pirate. Just, yep, losing his front wing. So the Wall of Champions picking up Pete the Pirate as a issue there. We have Ralph, Jurek, BV Baldi. Oh, we have loads in the pit. BV Baldi, Jurek, Ralph, Havoc Connor, and brother Adam. All coming into the pits for front wing damage, and we have a virtual safety car. I haven't seen the full safety car come out yet, so I think it is just going to be the virtual for the moment. So, yep, virtual as safety car. I'm not quite sure what caused that, unless it was for Brother Adam with his unfortunate spin at the back. And we are green flag racing again with Go, Go, Go. Not a bad place, actually, for Hans to get the drop there. MBB getting past Frax. So getting a few overtakes. Pete coming in now. Unfortunate for Pete, just hitting the Wall of Champions and losing his front wing. Dr. Scenic already with a 3-second time penalty on lap number 3. But excuse me for concentrating at the front a little bit more, but these two not only racing for the victory today, but they are the top 2 in the championship. BV Baldi not having one of his better races today. Okay, so jump back. So we are still very bunched up, obviously. We've got another virtual safety car. Why have we got another virtual safety car? Quite sure why we... I'm not quite sure what caused that virtual safety car. Can't see that anybody is out. Everyone seems to have front wing. Price. Price picking up 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That is... Well, hard work's just got harder today. Price, yeah, needs a new front wing, so must have been involved in something. I do wonder if that might have been what brought out the virtual safety car, but I didn't see anything. But anyway, we're back under green flag racing again on lap number 4 of 12. Crudor going just a little bit wide there. I think maybe would have got a warning for that, but is now right on the back of Hans. So that virtual safety car has certainly not worked out for Hans. Had pretty much a 0.6, 0.8 of a second lead. It's now, well, it was eroded down to 0.2, managing to pull it out ever so slightly now. Spitter now putting in the fastest lap in 3rd place, so he'll be looking at closing in on his I've closed the wrong one, haven't I? That one. Sorry for that. Dr. Scenic and Fairy Tale having a good battle. Trying to get the right one gone. There we go. And we we have another safety car for what this time? Virtual safety car. I can't see again why we have a virtual safety car. I wonder if we have a bit of a bugged lobby. Kieran now getting a drive-through penalty. Hands and Crudor taking the lead. Crudor should give the place back there because he has completely cut that corner to take the lead, which he has not. Right, okay. I think he is actually giving the place back now, which is fair enough. Oh, and Hands then going off as well. So we got a nice ding-dong battle going off for the top three now. Top four, actually, because Nerdy has joined the battle and Crudor is out, going for an opportunist move up the inside. 2 into 1 is not going to go, especially round that corner. But Nerdy and Chef are certainly not complaining, with the AlphaTauris now up into 3rd and 4th. Hands now with just over that 2nd lead, so well, so long as we do manage to get another or enough laps into Crudor all over the back of Nerdy now. Not really the place. Oh, he's just picked up a time penalty for cutting the corner. What a bugger of a lap. Number 6. Lap number 6. Halfway mark for Crudor. It is all falling apart. So pressurising Hands for the lead. Went for a move. So it was difficult for the camera angle, but it looked like there wasn't quite a car width of gap there. So I mean, I think it is a racing incident, unfortunate. But Crudor anyway now powering his way back past Nerdy up into 4th place, so splitting the AlphaTauris. Butterhead picking up a 3-second time penalty there. Pete also picking up a time penalty. That was a day late and $1 short, and that's just completely buggered it, I think, for Crudor, who is now coming back out just ahead of Durek. Yeah, that was a little bit too late on the brakes, but so Crudor really, probably the best he's going to be looking at now is 6 if he closed down that gap on Skipper. Certainly not over at the front either, with Spitter actually closing that gap down by half a second to 0.7, 0.6 now. So he is on it. Hands obviously not needing to take the risks as such, especially with Crudor now down in 7th place, just picking up 2 points in the sprint race, whereas Hands at the moment will pick up the full 8 points. But what is more important is the fact that he will take pole position for the feature race. Crudor currently down in 7th place. So we'll start just at the head of the 4th row of the grid. Composite looked like he was going to go for a move there. MBB just showed his front wing to Nerdy there just to say I'm here, but rightfully decided not to go for the move just there. Gap at the front back out to 1.2 seconds now. Looks like Hands is just managing to stretch that out just a little bit, at least if he can keep it under control. MBB picking up another time penalty. What we will do is we'll pop up the pens just to see what everybody has crewed on now with 8 seconds, obviously 5 seconds. I would assume probably for contact, and then another 3 seconds. So MBB now starting to struggle just a little bit on these tyres, I think. Maybe just trying a little bit too hard. And we got another virtual safety car. And that was for Kieran. I did see Kieran. I'm not sure if that was in the pits or whether that was on the start-finish line. I think it was the start-finish line to bring out a... It's a full safety car now. It's going to be out for 1 lap. So what we have is we've had 3 or 4 virtual safety cars and a full safety car in 12 laps. Okay, so we are on lap number 10. The safety car will be in at the end of this lap. The game gives you 2 clear laps of racing, so we'll be on lap number 10. We've got lap 11 and 12. It's got to come in at the end of this lap. But what it has done is it's allowed Crudor to close right the way back up. Obviously, I mean, he was closing on Skipper anyway, but to get it now, he's going to be right on his back, and then just up the road, he's going to be able to see Hans. So he could well find himself coming back into this race. Obviously, Nerdy and Chef JB and the AlphaTauris be looking at everything they can to hold the cars from behind. But also, I mean, they'll have their eye on trying to get forward as well. So, I mean, if one of those can make a move and get past Spitter up into second, or even Hans up into first. Look at the chat. Bogorovsky, good evening, sir. Good to have you in the chat. Yeah, looking at it, multiple safety cars. It has been a bit ridiculous, to be honest, the amount we've had for not many reasons, to be honest. But we back under green flag racing anyway. Hans getting a good jump on Spitter there. I can't see much going on behind. Looks like everybody is being pretty well behaved. From Jurek going for a late move up the inside of double there, but makes it and keeps it clean. So let's go back to the front. So Spitter 9/10. Right, so here we go, coming up to complete the final lap, or well, complete the penultimate lap, sorry, onto the final lap of what has been a blooming eventful sprint race. So far we've had 12 laps, we've had 3 or 4 virtual safety cars, a full safety car. I hate to think what we're going to get in the full race. I've never seen a red flag. I wonder if the game does a red flag. We'll see. Anyway, Hans looks like he has this under control now, has pulled out a gap of over a second on Spitter, but Chef JB and Nerdy haven't given up on a double AlphaTauri podium if they can. Crudor still in 7th place, struggling to get past. Still going into that last corner. Nope, decides he's going to brake this time. So Brother Adam picking up another penalty. Anyway, let's jump back to the front because Hans, he's led from start to finish. I mean, he's had different people behind him. He's had it was a close fight with Crudor. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be blame apportioned by both parties. But Hans takes the sprint race, which will give him pole position for the main race. Spitter bringing it home in second. Chef JB with a welcome third place for AlphaTauri. Nerdy, good to see him back up at the sharp end. Fourth place in the second AlphaTauri. Then we have Skipper coming home in fifth. In sixth, Fairy Tale seventh, Durek eighth, MBB Composite in ninth, and Double rounding out the top 10. Crudor, I think, dropping down to 11th at the end of that, so that is going to be got it all to do in the main race, but yeah, hoping it's not quite as incident strewn as the sprint race was. Anyway, right, okay, so Hans Boer taking the victory. Spitter in second, then we have Chef JB. Let me get this right. Yep, Nerdy. Then Skipper in fifth, Fairy Tale sixth, seventh, Durek, eighth, MBB, ninth, Composite, 10th, Double, 11th, Crudor, 12th, Havoc Connor, 13th, Mighty Frax Prize, starting 17th, moving his way up in a 14th. Had a bit of an incident strewn race there as well. 15th, Dr. Scenic. In 16th, we have Ralph Albers, 17th, Brother Adam. 18th, we have Peter Pirate, 19th, Kieran Trollface, and 20th. And last, well, the only non-finisher was BV Bowdy.
Welcome along then to race day at what we hope will be another thrilling Formula One Grand Prix. With top speeds of around 210 miles per hour heading into the overtaking opportunity of turn 13, the 2.7 miles of the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve are some of the quickest on the Formula One calendar. There are 14 corners in total, with 60% of the lap taken at full throttle, and average speeds clock in at about 130 miles per hour.
Well, welcome back everybody. As you can see, we're now starting the formation lap for 35 laps behind the virtual safety car. No, 35 laps of the Gilles Villeneuve circuit, Montreal in Canada. Hans Boer, as they take in that pole position, courtesy of a sprint race win. Spitter in second place, Chef JB third, and Nerdy in fourth. So looking at the title protagonists at the moment, Hans Boer obviously doing the best he can and leading the way. Crudor will start in 11th, pointless from the sprint race. Be looking at trying to well, gap will now be 9 points with Hans taking the win. Who do we have? Third, Kurdikov's not there. Then we have, let me just bring that back up again. Havoc and Prize Phantom, yes. So Prize starting in 14th, Havoc in 12th. So be honest, it's been a blooming good day for Hans so far. It seems to have everything has gone his way so far, but obviously we've still got a long way to go with 35 laps coming up. And also, don't forget, there is the rumour of rain about half an hour into the race, so we'll see what that's going to cause. Okay, so round to the start line, ready to form the grid. BV Baldi will be the last person. So just having a look at the potential weather, after half an hour we're looking at 77% chance of rain. 45 minutes it is going to be absolutely chucking it down. Right, okay, let's get underway. 3, 4, 5 lights are out, and away we go for the main race here at Montreal, Canada. And a bit of a sideways movement there from Chef JB. I think got a complete snap of wheel spin. Unfortunately crashed into his own teammate, and BV Baldi already out of the set. What the God's sake. Right, okay, so back at the front. So so far we're okay. Really good start by McLaren. Brother Adam has retired from this. Oh, Jesus Christ almighty, takes his teammate out with him. I'm assuming, yep, first safety car of the day. We managed 3/4 of a lap. That was pretty damn good. Is it a virtual? Yeah, it's a virtual safety car. So lap 1, lost 2 drivers already. BV Baldi, I think, before turn number 1, and then Brother Adam in sector 2. So virtual safety car is now out. Are we still under safety car? If we are under a virtual safety car, there does not seem to be any sector tires, because Hans is going flat out. Green flag now, so right, okay. I can only assume that the delta disappeared there. But right, so Hans pulling out, so 1.2 seconds clear. Everybody was seeing some steady gaps. And then we've got this lot. Let's say Nerdy having a torrid start, certainly not helped by his teammate pushing him pretty much into the wall. Let's say, not on purpose, it was a snap of oversteer. But Chef getting away in 5th, unfortunately Nerdy dropping his way down into 10th place. So he has Prize all over the back of him now in 11th, so Prize up 3 places. Who is that into the pits? MBB with 5 seconds speeding in the pit lane. I'm not surprised the speedy went past. Right, let's bring up tyres. Haven't seen pretty much everybody's on hards. Nerdy and Ralph exchanging positions there. So really not going well for Nerdy at the moment. So dropping a good few places. Doc Scenic and Frax fighting away as well. Crudor looking to be on the prowl. So he wants to get past Composite as quick as he can, but he started 7th, still in 7th. So he's now within DRS, so Havoc, Connor. If there was any contact there between Havoc and Nerdy. Not 100% sure. I don't think there was, but it was difficult to tell from that camera angle. But this is pretty much the closest battle we've got at the moment between the 2 Red Bulls. Skipper picking up a penalty there, currently up in 4th place. I do expect to see some quite high penalties here, certainly towards the end. I think had somebody yesterday in one of the races with 18 seconds of penalties. There's Ralph giving his teammate a little bit of a kiss there. Always tend to find that unsettles your teammate rather than never really appreciated. I honestly thought, hey, gee, what? Really slow. Front 4 cars were slow there. Kieran got a really good run. I think he got a penalty because of that as well. Well, not penalty, a warning, but it does look like Fairy Tale is struggling in front and he's holding up the rest of this pack. He would be best off letting his teammate through and then holding up the likes of Nerdy, Havoc and Kieran for his teammate, but I don't know whether these guys are actually talking or not. Connor now looking for a move, thinks better of it and ducks back in. Kieran picking up another penalty. Crudor is closing on composite. Makes the overtake. I don't think he got a warning for that. I think he might have been borderline, but just on the limit. And through comes Prize as well, up into 7th. So Prize taking advantage of composite being unsettled by Crudor coming through. Notice that Ralph and Nerdy are now past Fairy Tale. I think Fairy Tale was struggling quite some. I wonder if Ralph has got past, obviously leaving the door then open for Nerdy to get past as well. Peter Pirate and Kieran. Oh no, Kieran's in the pits. A position change there. Okay, so Crudor now closing in at a rate of knots on the back of Chef JB. He's dragging Prize along with him. Prize, as you remember, obviously had a qualifying ban. So good driver. Price just needs to, I think, learn to just be a bit more patient. I think that the problem is it's frustrated when you're behind a car that's slower than you and you know you've got the speed, but it's picking your moment and almost lining them up for a move. I think that'll come obviously with experience. Price picked up a 3-second penalty there, so now he's getting frustrated. Okay, so Crudor 6th place. Just out of DRS of Chef JB, who is hanging on to the coattails of Skipper. Nerdy's out. Nerdy's out. Oh, Nerdy. Just on the right. So yeah, I think Nerdy's got caught on the curb, probably out there, which has thrown him into the wall. So Nerdy, not your day after all. That's a good sprint race. It was looking good, but I think, you know, your teammate had it in for you right away from the word go in the feature race. But yeah. Okay, so 4 drivers out. We have the safety car again at lap number 8. So it's too early really for. It's no good for anyone. Lap number 8. It's you know, a bit later on. Then you could take a gamble if you're on the mediums to go on to the hards. Pop up the constructor as well. We'll just be on the safety car there. McLaren 189 points, currently in first and third in today's race. With McLaren, I mean, well, as it stands, only picking up 1 point, so certainly would. I think it would probably secure them the title today, to be honest with you. But I'm not capable of doing those mathematics at this time of night and this late in the week. Okay, so a quick look at pens just to see who has what. 3-3, Kieran with a drive-through, honestly. Get rid of that for now, and I'll bring the tyres back up in a while, but we will try and see a little bit more of the screen if we can. But MH Spitter has been pretty consistent all day. So he was right up behind his teammate Crudor, chasing down race leader Hans Buer until obviously some contact between the two. But then Spitter put the pressure on himself, and actually he's bringing it home in second place in the sprint race, picking up some good points for the Alpine team. Number 9 we will be completing shortly. I don't know if safety car is coming in this lap. I wouldn't have thought so, because I think Frax is too far back. Double will probably, well, Double would catch up, but let's see if the lights go out. Okay, so it'd be one more lap behind the safety car. Just while we're under safety car conditions, just going to give a bit of a shout out to some of our champions that have already been decided. Division number 1, DTR No Jug, have been awesome all season. This is a guy who came into Division 1 last year after having sort of a fairly successful season in the lower divisions, but came in and he couldn't buy a finish, he couldn't buy a point, and he and his teammate Dymex stuck by it, and they've just got better and better and better, and No Jug has just been mightily impressive, and well, it's literally won the Division 1 champion, so he is our top tier champion for this year, so you know, for season 5, so many congratulations to you. Also a big shout out to Rancy, who has been a dominant winner of Division 4 championship. Again, start of the season he was I'll be honest, he was competitive, but he wasn't probably in the top 3 or 4. But he has just stuck with it and got quicker and quicker, and the guy has been absolutely dominant. So Rancy, congratulations. It has been, I would say it's been a pleasure racing you, but I haven't seen you much, just a little dot in the distance. But many congratulations on your Division 4 title anyway. So back to the race, lap number 10 coming up to completion, and we will be back under green flag racing. So we'll see if we get any slight overtakes under the safety car. Hands now just backing up the grid. And he's gone. Spitter was... Oh! No, you can't overtake before the safety... Yeah, that's it. You've got to drop back. It's probably going to lose you another position there. So I don't think Hans did anything wrong at all there. I think unfortunately he just got a snap. Spitter obviously went for the move. Wide-eyed, thinking, my God, I'm going to take the lead here. But then I think it's you must give that position back. So we are now side by side, and Jurek is spun round, does himself a nice 360, and rejoins pretty safely, actually, considering. Well, there we go. That was a different rejoin to track. Nice 360 pirouette. Crudor into 5th. So who did we lose? Oh, it was Jurek, wasn't it? Who has dropped back. Crudor now all over the back of Chef JB, obviously down to the safety car, but Ralph and Composite side by side. Composite has the better speed. Get this menu right in a minute. Okay, so hands 2.7 seconds clear. Who was that? Who was that? Composite is around. Manages to round. He'll reverse his way out and get back underway. MBB picking up another time penalty. So Crudor in 4th. Obviously be looking at limiting the damage as much as he can, of missing out on 8 points or an 8-point gain for Hans down to the sprint race. But Crudor will want to do all that he can. I mean, preferably I want to get past Hans and reduce that gap back down again, going into what is going to be championship decider in America. So it was the home of the Race of Champions last season. Frax and a double side by side. It looks like Frax has the better grip around the outside. He does indeed. Right, let's jump back because this is getting a bit, gonna get a bit fruity, I think, up front. This is where Price just needs to bide his time. It's lap 13 of 35. You do not need to make the overtake this lap. Let the others make the mistake. Right, let's get some tyre details up so we know who is where. Frax going for soft tyres. That's a brave move there. I'm not going to say Bog. Bog's just asked who won the Race of Champions last year. It was Bogorovsky. He was the rightful winner of the Race of Champions for Season 4. He might not have crossed the line first, but he was the rightful and deserved winner. Enough said. Back to the race, Mr. Bogorovsky. Oh, so Skipper just getting a bit of a loose end. You never want a loose end. That's nothing that you want, but yeah, manages to lose it a little bit there, dropping position. So Crudor back up into 3rd place, sitting behind his teammate. So again, I don't know who is, whether they are communicating or not, but if I was a Spitter, I would certainly let Crudor through and then try and hold up Prize as best I can. But obviously, if they are not talking, it's picking up a 3-second penalty. Hands also with a 3-second penalty. I didn't notice that one as well. It's crept in at the top there. So a lot of penalties starting to appear now. Crudor, I think, is going to get a bit frustrated behind his teammate. Gets a much better drive there, but Crudor again, I thought he was going to let him through, but he's... We have another safety car. Why do we have a safety car? Frax is out. Where is Frax out? Turn number... Well, between turns 2 and 3 by the looks of it. Safety car just going past him now. So, safety car number, is it 3, 4? I've lost count. I think it's 3 and 1 virtual safety car. So yellow has certainly been the colour tonight. No, we're not going to see where the crash was about here. So I wonder if he's just got caught out on those turns there. And 14 laps. I tell you what, this could work well for is someone like Double, who is on... Oh, maybe not. I was going to say on the mediums would have been worth taking a gamble and coming in and putting a set of hards on. Take yourself to the end of the race. But maybe not. Okay, so behind safety car again, what we do is just put up a calendar and say we are round number 11 today, Montreal in Canada, and then just Austin, Texas at the Circuit of the Americas for round number 12. As you can see, we've had a few winners this year. Obviously, Havoc, Connor, Hands, Salzacino, Prize, Jurek, Crudor, and Chef JB. So they have been shared about on the victories quite a bit. But as you see, Crudor winning 2 of the last 3 is what has pulled him back into contention. Composite right at the back. We'll close up on this lap, so I think the safety car will probably come in at the end of this lap, and we'll probably be out at the end of the next lap. Havoc for some reason has gone on Inters. Hello Kai, welcome to the chat, sir. Yeah, not quite sure what Havoc's done there. I think that is a bit of a balls up. Or is it starting to rain? It's starting to rain. I'm seeing spits of rain. Now, is this a ballsy move by Havoc? Way too early for the wet tyres or the Inters. The safety car is coming in this lap. I think his tyres are going to way overheat. It's going to take 2-3 laps, I think, before we get wet enough. But could be a ballsy move. Let's see. Right, back to the front. Hands has gone. and we have got spitting rain, so it is going to get heavier and heavier and heavier. As I said to you, it is looking about 87% chance of rain and complete torrential downpours after about 35-40 minutes. So we have a few others. Skipper also coming in for the inters. Double, I would assume, is going to go inters as well. So we have got some early stoppers coming in now for the inters. This could have been keep an eye on Havoc, just because he's circuit is starting to get wet. If you look at the track, certainly don't think it's ready for inters yet, but it's certainly not far off. This could have been an absolute genius stroke by Havoc. And sticking with it at the moment. He's not ready to come in and put inters on. These hards are going to get cold as ice very, very quickly. Jurek coming in. He'll be putting his inters on. Pete keeps going. Fairy Tale shouldn't be too bad on the mediums. Soft runners would be okay as well, although MBB now coming in to dump those. So Havoc up to 9th place. Well, let's get the total behind the leader. Havoc just 12 seconds behind, and does not need to pit again, obviously, unless it turns into wet conditions. Sorry, torrential wet, and we're going to need the blue monsoon tyres. Keep an eye at the front. And Hans has had enough. He's coming in now to put those on. In fact, everybody is, other than Price, who decides that he's going to do something a little bit different. But it might be, I mean, if he can, he still thinks he's quicker on the dries. Where's Havoc? Havoc up into 3rd place. And all over Fairy Tale now. Look, that is... Havoc is much quicker now, but he needs to get past Fairy Tale as quick as he can, because he is just going to be holding him up, and Hans is closing in at the back. Don't be so impatient, Havoc. Oh my god, this isn't going to end well. Right. Okay, well, Fairy Tale battling away there. I'll give him his due, but he has allowed Hans to close in by about 2 seconds, so that advantage that Havoc had has gone. But I don't think Havoc gives a shit, to be honest. He's now up into the net lead. Prize coming into the pits with a 5-second penalty. And Havoc is going to take the lead with a 3-second penalty. Why? Okay. So Havoc now stretching the gap on Hans, so obviously a lot more comfortable on these tyres after being on them for a couple more laps. I'm sure Hans will get back up to speed. Jurek picking up another time penalty. Who's king of the penalties so far then? Havoc got with 9? Jesus! Well, that's completely blown his, 3, So it'll be he needs 6-second buffer on hands. Oh, that's going to hurt. So, yep, Connor, you made a absolutely masterclass tactical wise on going on to the inters, but my God, 9 seconds of penalty is gonna pretty much ruin it for you. So gaps have now spaced out a bit, other than Crudor, who is still actually lost a position. Oh, he would have done, yeah, to Havoc, who catapulted up. Still stuck behind Ralph there. Spitter is the only other one who looks close enough at the moment, which is... he's battling away for 10th position. So it's looking so good for Spitter at one point in 2nd place. Pushing Havoc hard for the win. Very close there between Spitter and Double. A little bit of nudging going on there. Price picking up another 3-second penalty. That's going to give him, what, 11? It's a very hard track on penalties, Canada. But imagine now we have a late safety car. Ralph and Crudor are in such good positions to potentially win this race if we have a late safety car, which, to be honest, the amount of rain that is potentially going to come, you can't put anything past it. Spitter now all over the back again of Double, but just can't get past. Finally, it gets past there. Okay, so he should now power away and close in on the back of Fairy Tale. But at the front, we seem quite set with Havoc with a 2.2 second lead over Hans. I mean, Hans not needing to push it. So just keep it cleanish and try and keep his pens down to just those 3, and he should still be able to bring home the win. But as I said, one late safety car, and you've got the likes of Ralph, Crudor, and Fairy Tale himself currently down in 9th, would be sitting absolutely pretty. He is closing on the back of Skipper as well, and Haas closing on the Ferrari. And MBB, I think, will go for a move in a minute. So he's been closing on Jurek at a rate of knots. Crudor still stuck behind Ralph. I say Ralph doing a good job there. Crudor might make the move here. I don't know if Ralph is going to give it up. He's not. Just need to get that right, otherwise you are, although he's going to be on the inside for the hairpin. Crudor already had a couple of incidents here today. Pens, right, let's get the pens up. So there's a lot there. I'm not adding all them up, but Jack, if you want to have a look at those. So yeah, Havoc with 9, Prize with 11, Chef JB 6. So yeah, unfortunately quite a lot of pens there. Only Ralph, Crudor and Fairy Tale without. 5 retirements on the night, leaving us 15 runners. So it's good to see a full grid in Division 5. Been pretty good with their attendance all year, and the racing's been fun. There's been some good racing, been some poor racing, been some good battles. Changeable weather conditions. It's been a very enjoyable division to commentate on, to be honest. I have enjoyed it, and obviously going down to the final race of the season with the champions still to be decided. A little bit of a nudge there. Pete and Skipper look like Skipper going a little bit wide there, but manages to get the traction underway and pulling away. So Prize closing in on Hands at the top. Again, if I was Hands, I would just let him go. Do not get involved in that, not when you've got 8 seconds on him in penalties. Fairy Tale and Spitter. As soon as I go back to the leaders, then someone else changes position here. So Spitter making his way up into 9th place. Let's say we know he's decent round here. He's had a decent qualifying and a good sprint race. Just didn't quite go his way in the main race. MBB picking up another time. So who's going to win the pens today? Who's going to be the highest with the pens? I mean, current leader, we have Prize with 11 seconds of penalties, and then we have race leader Havoc, MBB and Kieran all with 9, and Skipper not far away with 8. So who do you think is going to win the pens today? Be interesting to see who's going to have the highest amount of penalties. So lap number 28, so 7 laps plus the one that we are on. And Pete picking up the time penalty there. Obviously he's after the prize of the most penalties. Kieran and MBB. Oh, MBB, it's just not been your race today, mate, has it? Lose that turn 2. Ralph and Crude. Oh, for fuck's sake, why don't they ever give each other space? So Ralph now spun round and down into 8th. And we have, what's this, virtual safety car? Why not? We haven't had one for a while. No, it's a full safety car. Just so unnecessary. I know you're desperate to go for moves, but pick your time, pick your place. So lap number 29, there'll be 5 laps at the end of this one. I don't think we're going to get to full wet conditions. It's not hugely far off, but it's not heavy rain. So as I was saying, this late safety car could kill it for people. I say Connor 9 seconds, 3 seconds. I mean, Crudor is sitting in an absolutely fantastic position now. No penalties at all. If he can keep himself within 3 seconds of Hans, he'll take the victory. A lot of people will gain and a lot of people will lose from this. I mean, Ralph down in 14th place. He'll make some places, but what's up with prize? Well, prize comes in to, that's quite wise actually, serve 5 seconds of his penalty. Put a fresh set of inters on. So he keeps the position ahead of Fairy Tale as well. So not too bad for him. Right, just going to keep the pens up I think for now so we can see. And the safety car could be in at the end of this lap, giving us 5 laps of racing. Safety car is coming in this lap. So we will have a 5-lap sprint race. 14 players, 14 left in it. MBB, I didn't see MBB retire. Study that. Hopefully it wasn't a pit lane retirement, but we'll see. I think it was. So Havoc goes. So it's not an easy place to get a jump on anyone here, to be honest with you. Jesus, it is all kicking off back here. Is it Skipper? Oh, gee. Ralph already back into 11th place. Oh, if in doubt, it's always a good way. You rather than overtake, you can just nudge him out the way and go past. We have another, oh God, not another virtual safety car, honestly. Okay, right. Have we got people changing? Oh, yes, that's right, it's okay. Shouldn't have any overtaking. So, as it stands, Crudor is in an absolute spot-on position to win this race. He's under a second behind Oh, Havoc. Jesus, mate, honestly, it's just gone from bad to worse for you, isn't it? After such a good... Crudor's got one as well! Oh, gee! Oh, the hell is going on? Havoc and Crudor both got drive-through penalties. That could... Oh my Jesus. Oh dear, Hammers, yeah, I think that's probably the best way to put it. Well, that's completely blown it for both of them. Personally, I wouldn't have served it, I'd have just kept going. But... Right, so, Hans now has a 4-second lead. Oh, where's Havoc going to come out? 9th. Going to come out behind Ralph. So Ralph recovering up to 7th place. That's not bad for him. I tell one person that has crept up is Jurek after getting an incident. So about the halfway stage of this, when he was doing really well, sort of up into the top 3 or 4. Yeah, so Hans out in front. I'm not sure if he'll win this could win him the championship, I think. I need to do some quick mathematics. 29 to 128 plus 8 137 to 138 125. Yeah, Hans will be Division 5 champion, so we won't get a last race shootout. Crudor currently in 10th. I mean, obviously there's a lot of pens in front, but I think it's still going to put it in a position where Hans will be champion. At 2.9 seconds clear. Right, we got anything? Crudor will be doing his best to get past Double and Havoc, but Havoc's not going to be easy to get past. Oh, Kieran. I'm not sure they have any more front wings left for you, mate. So Hans just about to start his last lap. So Price sitting in second, Jurek third. So I mean, they will. Trying to see where Ralph's sitting. Let's Kieran with Kieran has retired. Looks like he has crashed in the final chicane. So for once we're not going to get a safety car, but we will have a nice yellow flag there. We'll just have a quick look, see where Kieran crashed. There he is. Oh, God's sake. I hope that's gone by the time Hans comes round. I think it's gone now. Right, so Hans will, well, coming down the straight for the last time. Into turns 13, 14, keep it out of the wall of champions' hands. You put that down and you cross that line. Prize has closed right up behind you, but great win by Hans there. Prize coming home in second, Provisional Jurek in third, Chef JB in fourth, Skipper Pete the Pirate, no, Ralph in fifth. Crudor gets sixth in the end. Pete the Pirate getting seventh, 8 going to Skipper, 9th to Double, 10th Fairy Tale, 11th Havoc Connor, 12th MH Spitter, and a 13 Composite. So I just need to work out quickly. So 6th is going to give him 8, so it's 136. 153 to 136. Right, driver today, they're going to Pete the Pirate. Just some brief mathematics. I think that Hans is 27 points clear now with one race to go. 26 points on the table, so I do believe that he is the champion. If he is, many congratulations. So two McLarens on the podium, and we'll run through the results. Once they finish spraying each other with champagne. But yep, so Hans, Prize and Uruk is our podium for this week. So Prize recovering from 14th position, I think it was, for his qualifying. Right, so let's get to the race results. So Hans Buer taking a deserved win, I think, in the end. Prize Phantom coming home in second, Jurek in third, Chef JB fourth, fifth Ralph Albers in sixth, Crudor recovering after that, seventh Pete the Pirate, eighth Skipper, ninth Double, 10th Fairy Tale, 11th Havoc. Unfortunate for Havoc. I'll come back to him in a second. 12th will go to Spitter. 13th Composite, 14th Kieran, 15th MBB, 16th Mighty Frax, 17th Nerdy. Was the first, was a non-finisher, unfortunately. Dr. Scenic, Brother Adam, and BV Bowdy were the others. I'm just going to go back. I am actually going to give my driver for the day today to Havoc Connor. I think that was such a ballsy decision to come in on those inters, and he didn't really put a foot wrong. Unfortunately, a drive-through under a stupid safety car, and you know, the penalties that he picked up, but I think he deserved that today. I mean, Prize very close for coming all the way through to second place, but a lot of that was down to the chaos in front. But yeah, I'll be giving Havoc my vote for today. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. That concludes week number 11 for Delta T Racing, so that is the end of the Canadian leg. We will be rounding up next week in Austin, Texas for the final race of the season. I say some championships have already been decided, certainly some constructors that haven't, and we'll look forward to having divisions 1 and 3 on Tuesday. On Wednesday we have divisions 2 and 4, and I'll be back for the last time this season next Thursday for division 5. So I'd just like to say thanks ever so much for listening in. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. Certainly a incident-packed race. I've been Boy. I'll look forward to seeing you next week.